Hello, welcome back to a chapter a day. Happy Tuesday. Well, today we'll be reading 2 Samuel chapter 21. Yesterday we saw David being reinstated. The Israelites, remember these are all Israelites. These are not the enemies fighting Israel anymore. This is Israel fighting within itself. Some of them have not consented for David's reinstatement after Absalom went to battle with him. But Absalom is now dead, and Judah reinstated him because he is from the tribe of Judah. And we see that he made Amasa, who was with Absalom. I do not even know if he didn't know that Amasa was with Absalom. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to have to double check that. But I believe Absalom made Amasa his captain, and then David replaced Joab with Amasa. I'm not sure why. He maybe was not happy with Joab for some of the things Joab did. But Joab killed Amasa because I guess, he's threatening my position and maybe he didn't think he ought to be there. It's like you are a traitor. I see him like, yeah. So that's what's happened so far. And now Joab has gone to war after Sheba, because Sheba had disdained David's position and told the other Israelite tribes who did not accept David to follow him, because he said, who is David that we should, make him king again? So what he did is that he went ahead and he had a following of the Israelites. So Joab went after him, and he ran into a city to hide himself. I think the name of the city was Abel. And this wise woman, they said, came out and talked to Joab and said, you know what, you're going to come destroy this entire town for one man. So who is it that you want? So Joab told her, well, I'm after Sheba. So she said, you know what, you just wait here. We throw his head over the wall. But they did. I don't know who decapitated him, but he was taken down. And that's it. Traitors usually end up on the bad side, Things don't usually go well with a traitor. And well, let's see what happens now. Joab is captain over the host once again, and David has appointed other people to be part of his cabinet or his group of advisors, as we will see. Okay, so let's go on with chapter 21. Then there was a famine in the days of David 3 years, year after year. And David inquired of the Lord, and the Lord answered, it is for Saul and for his bloody house, because he slew the Gibeonites. And the king called the Gibeonites and said unto them, now the Gibeonites were not of the children of Israel, but of the remnant of the Amorites. And the children of Israel had sworn unto them. And Saul sought to slay them in his zeal to the children of Israel and Judah. Wherefore David said unto the Gibeonites, what shall I do for you? And wherewith shall I make the atonement, that you may bless the inheritance of the Lord? And the Gibeonites said unto him, we will have no silver, nor gold of Saul, nor of his house. Neither for us shalt thou kill any man in Israel. And he said, what you shall say, that will I do for you. And they answered the king, the man that consumed us and that devised against us, that we should be destroyed from remaining in any of the coasts of Israel. Let 7 men of his sons be delivered unto us, and we will hang them up unto the Lord in Gibeah of Saul, whom the Lord did choose. And the king said, I will give them. So here's what's happening. The Gibeonites were the people who kind of tricked Israel when they were coming through over the Jordan. They pretended they came from a far-off land by making their bread molded and their clothes raggedy and putting dust on themselves. And when the children of Israel made an agreement with them not to destroy them, then they found out that these were not people from afar off. They were close inhabitants of some one of the lands. So it was too late. They already swore to God. You see how important it is to keep your oath? When you say you do something, you do it, especially to God. Wow. Okay. So now that they made them their servants, of course, and they had to pay tribute and whatever, but Saul decided to kill them at some point in time. I'm not sure why. He maybe thought they were really were not Israelites, but they were part of Israel. You know, it's like how Puerto Rico or one of those other countries, like how it's like a colonization, except they really didn't go into the land to colonize it. They just, realized that the people, they made a pact with them and they kept it. It's like having a colony. But Saul, for some reason, thought that he would not honor that for some reason. And yeah, that's what he did. So he apparently killed the Gibeonites, and now Israel was suffering for it. I never could understand, but they always trace their calamities back to something they did. How come we can't do that? When we are in some serious situations, we need to sit and really think about our lives. What did we do that maybe now we are paying for, we are having compensation for, or recompensing for? So they asked for 7 men of Saul's household. So let's see what happens now. Verse 7. But the king spared Mephibosheth, the son of Jonathan, the son of Saul, because of the Lord's oath that was between them, between David and Jonathan, the son of Saul. And the king took the 2 sons of Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, whom she bare unto Saul, Armoni and Mephibosheth, and the 5 sons of Michal, the daughter of Saul, whom she brought up for Adriel, the son of Barzillai, the Meholathite. And he delivered them into the hands of the Gibeonites, and they hanged them in the hill before the Lord. And they fell all 7 together, and were put to death in the days of harvest, in the first days, in the beginning of barley harvest. And Rizpah, the daughter of Ai, took sackcloth and spread it for her upon the rock, from the beginning of harvest until water dropped upon them out of heaven, and suffered neither the birds of the air to rest on them by day, nor the beasts of the field by night. Oh God, I would say this. If people would realize their wicked ways have consequences. Saul left a curse on his household. He did. The things we do have serious consequences, and sometimes we don't see it in our lifetime, but our children or children's children coming after it. And it's the same thing for blessings. As for curses, so are blessings. You live right, you put blessings on your children and children's children to the 3rd and 4th generations, according to the Bible. But when you do wicked things, you do the same thing. You bring curses on your children and children's children. That's awful. I felt so terrible for what happened. So terrible. So he took the children from, from the mothers, and Michal was bringing up her nephews. I think it was her sister's children, Merab's children. I think so. And they killed them. 5 of those boys and 2 from Saul's concubine or wife. It's just awful to hear that. It's horrible. But this is what happens when you fall into the hand of the living God. I don't know how else to say it. Blood for blood. That's how they did it then. Jesus came and saved us a whole bunch. His blood for all the world is what saves us from having to go through any of that stuff anymore. Oh God, help us. Okay, verse 11. And it was told David what Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, the concubine of Saul, had done. And David went and took the bones of Saul and the bones of Jonathan his son from the men of Jabesh Gilead, which had stolen them from the street of Bethshan, where the Philistines had hanged them, when the Philistines had slain Saul in Gilboa. And he brought up from thence the bones of Saul and the bones of Jonathan his son. And they gathered the bones of them that were hanged, and the bones of Saul and Jonathan his son buried they in the country of Benjamin in Zillah, in the sepulchre of Kish his father. And they performed all that the king commanded, and after that God was entreated for the land. Moreover, the Philistines had yet war again with Israel, and David went down, and his servants with him, and fought against the Philistines, and David waxed faint. Wow. Okay. So after he did that, and he heard that Saul's concubine was there trying to protect the bodies after they had killed them, she was not letting any birds come to pick at their flesh, or any those hyenas or whatever it is coming to get the flesh off of the dead things, whatever feasts on carcasses. So when David heard that, he went and he got Saul's and Jonathan's bones from Jabesh Gilead, where they had taken them, and I thought they burned them, but apparently they buried them. I'm not sure. And he brought them all to Kish's sepulchre, which was Saul's father, and buried them all there, so that they didn't just leave them hanging around. And after that, God was entreated for the land. Blood for blood. My God, have mercy. Thank God for Jesus. People don't even know what we've been saved from. We don't know because we don't know. Okay? They say what you don't know won't hurt or bother you. So we really don't know. We don't understand it unless the Spirit reveals to us what we've been saved from by Jesus' death. Okay, verse 16. And Ishbi-Benob, which was of the sons of the giant, the weight of whose spear weighed 300 shekels of brass in weight, he, being girded with a new sword, thought to have slain David. So after all of this, David goes out to war with the Philistines. They say he waxed faint. I would say David is getting old. There's so much troubles going on around him, in his household, around his household. I don't know if he's that strong warrior like he was before. And one of the giants of the Philistines thought to slay him because he was weak. Verse 17. But Abishai the son of Zeruiah succored him and smote the Philistine and killed him. Then the men of David sware unto him, saying, Thou shalt go no more out with us to battle, that thou quench not the light of Israel. And it came to pass after this, that there was again a battle with the Philistines at Gob. Then Sibbecai the Hushathite slew Saph, which was of the sons of the giant. And there was again a battle in Gob with the Philistines, where Elhanan the son of Jarirogim, a Bethlehemite, slew the brother of Goliath the Gittite, the staff of whose spear was like a weaver's beam. And there was yet a battle in Gath, where was a man of great stature, that had on every hand 6 fingers, and on every foot 6 toes, 24 in number, and he also was born to the giant. And when he defied Israel, Jonathan the son of Shimei, the brother of David, slew him. These 4 were born to the giant in Gath, and fell by the hand of David and by the hand of his servants. Wow. Whew. So, war, they're still having war with the Philistines. I think they were like their lifelong enemies, honestly. Like God said, he leaves back a little trouble for us so that we keep looking to him. Because sometimes if our life is going too smoothly, we forget God. Okay, we don't go to him as we should. We need to talk with God throughout the day, every single day. There's no one day for us to say, well, I'm going to pass today, I can't talk with God. We need to talk with God from morning till night. So they told David, you're waxing faint in battle. Don't go out anymore with us before you get killed. So now they're handling the Philistines their own, and they're achieving great victory, because a lot of the giants, apparently, of course, after Goliath, he must have had children or siblings, and they were putting them up to go fight the Israelites too. So those are the ones that were getting killed. Okay. I think gigantism was like something that was unnatural after a while. That's why they talked about the man with 6 fingers and 6 toes on each side of his body. That's kind of abnormality. That's not something that happens naturally. So they killed the Philistines. They had victory. And that's the end of chapter 21. Whew. So moving right along, we're coming to the end of David's time. David, you can tell just from what we read, he can't go to war anymore. He just went through that tough time with his son. Let's see what happens next. And that's the end of it for today of our reading. So thank you once again for those of you who join in, who listen. I pray that you do have some sort of inspiration from what you hear, something to think about. And until our next reading, remember, faith comes by hearing God's word. So let's keep listening, okay? Bye.